Hello everyone, I'm Santiago, and today I'm gonna be testing Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate on the Steam Deck. So this is not Rebirth, this is the previous part. The Rebirth part is only on PlayStation 5 at the moment. So this is Unreal Engine 4 and there's no 16:10, so 720p is our only option. Texture resolution, low or high. Low because otherwise we get some performance drops in bigger areas. Same with shadow resolution. The good thing is that shadow resolution looks almost the same on low. Then a very important setting, the frame rate. So it says 30, 60, 90 and 120. Well, this actually affects the dynamic resolution as well. So when you select one of these, there will be a dynamic resolution trying to get to this frame rate. So I installed a mod that disables that because we cannot hit 60s all the time with dynamic resolution, and we're going to target 40 FPS instead. So keep it at 120 and the mod link is in the description. Characters displayed on 3, and that's basically it. Very minimal options on this one, unfortunately. But again, I'm going to target 40s, otherwise if you keep the dynamic resolution on and targeting 60, the game will look super soft. So my advice again is to install that mod, lock it to 40 and play like that. So let's get into it. Alright, welcome to Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate. As you can see right now, we're basically in the low 40s. This is not the most demanding part of the game, but there is combat, which is good. That's usually what I like to show you. Alright, and again, dynamic resolution is disabled with a mod, so the game looks super sharp in comparison. Again, if you keep the dynamic resolution on, you have to choose between 30 and below 60 FPS, but with a softer image, which on the Steam Deck screen is okay-ish, but we're not hitting one or the other. So we have some room to spare for the 40 FPS cap. And the game looks great. I mean, shadow quality still pretty good. Texture quality leaves a little bit to be desired, especially in the more open places, but it avoids the drops below 40 way more. Spells, fire. Points. And in a game like this, really, I don't think 60s is 100% necessary, but 40s I think is a good middle ground. Still looks pretty smooth. On the Steam Deck screen, it looks fantastic. And you keep that native resolution. Due to the fact that it doesn't have official 16:10 support, we have to play at 720p, which leaves us with bars at the top and bottom of the screen, which is not the end of the world, especially if you have an OLED Steam Deck. But this is way better than just keeping dynamic resolution on, staying below 60. So I'm pretty surprised. I was expecting worse, despite the game being verified. I'm pretty blown away. The game looks great. Oh man, I'm so bad at this. And I'm almost dead as well. There we go. But this is not the only thing I'm going to show you. I'm going to be going to a more demanding stage as well. So don't worry, I gotcha. Got you covered. Okay. And I'm still waiting for the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth thing to come to PC as well. Which I'm guessing is going to come out maybe in 6 months to a year from now. We'll see how that performs. It's probably going to run worse than this, which makes complete sense. But I'm probably going to target 30s on that one. We'll see what happens. So let's jump into the next part that is more demanding than this one. We're now in the slums. This part is more demanding. There's more characters on screen. That's why we lowered the displayed characters to 3 instead of 10 or 8. And the texture quality, we had to drop it because of this area, basically. You're going to drop more often below 40. There are some minor drops here and there when looking into the distance. But when you're going for combat, it's pretty good. So here we go.
I can see why monsters would feel right at home.
And we got 2 characters fighting instead of 1. Although I'm noticing some softness due to the TAA solution, but on the smaller screen it's much harder to notice really. So I'm happy we got a smaller screen when it comes to that. And now for audience retention, I'm using Tifa, of course.
Wow, so that's what a soldier looks like in action. Okay, let's go.
Alright. So combat is not an issue. The thing is, when you are in the slums, as an example, and then you basically get lots of textures going on. Otherwise, it's completely fine, as you can see. Then when it comes to battery life, we got 1.5 hours. At least in the more demanding places. But when locking into 40, it should last a tiny bit longer. Especially in the starting locations. I'll guess maybe 100 minutes of battery instead of 90. But if you have an OLED Steam Deck, well, there's even more battery life coming to that. As you can see, with almost a full battery, it says 1 hour and 30 minutes. But just cap it to 40 and be happy, basically. Unfortunately, there's no medium settings, only high or low. What can you do? Still, a pretty good looking game. I'm usually pretty surprised when I'm playing a game like this on deck. Because I've been playing a few years on the Switch, and I'm used to games like this not existing in that platform.
Of course not. Even so, folks will be a win's a win, you know?
Yeah. Skip.
Trust me,
So you gotta sacrifice texture quality and shadow resolution, but again, the shadows still look fine. I would even put shadows on low on my main PC. But again, the texture quality is the thing. We're using 4 gigs of VRAM at the moment. But if we had the textures on high, it would be like 7 or 8. So my advice is to keep it on low textures. But otherwise, it's completely fine. So cap it to 40 using the Steam Deck menu and enjoy the visuals, basically. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did taking a look at the game again. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys. Thanks for watching.